Tonight on NewsVision, rising tensions between Russia and Ukraine as the situation is escalating by the minute. How the potential invasion could affect people in the US.
Unfortunately, if Vladimir Putin invades Ukraine, it's the American household that's going to partially bear the burden of adjustment.
Plus, with Black History Month in full swing, one student organization is celebrating Black culture.
I just really like seeing all the beautiful Black and brown students that come out to celebrate.
And later on, the University of Miami is building a new music hall near the Frost School of Music. But some students are not too happy with the construction. We will tell you why.
Having to walk all the way to Stanford is already enough a hassle, and then having to make a whole detour, go all the way around this way, makes it 10 times worse.
These stories and more ahead on tonight's show. NewsVision starts right now.
Developing tonight, U.S. troops are arriving in Poland as tensions mount between Russia and Ukraine. Dire warnings from President Joe Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken, both men looking to prevent a potential war. Hello and welcome to the first NewsVision of the semester. I'm Sophia Vitello.
And I'm Harvey Duplock. Thank you for joining us.
Let's head right over to UMTV reporter Julia Hecht, who is in the studio with the latest. Julia, what's been happening in the last few hours?
Harvey, Sophia, all of this stemming from Russia seeking a promise that Ukraine will never join NATO. Russian troops are currently positioned around Ukraine's border. The U.S. Secretary of State warning the UN today that Russia is working on a justification for an attack, despite claims that it has no such plans. Meanwhile, President Biden has pledged that the U.S. will not send troops to Ukraine, but is prepared to impose strict economic sanctions. A potential conflict could rattle global energy markets and create a ripple effect that could impact millions of American households. A potential war in Europe could make the already high cost of living in the U.S. even higher for millions of American families.
Unfortunately, if Vladimir Putin invades Ukraine, it's the American household that's going to partially bear the burden of adjustment.
Chief economist Joe Bruce Wallace from consulting firm RSM says a Russian invasion could rise the cost of nearly everything having to do with energy. Russia is the world's second largest producer of oil, and supply is already failing to keep up with demand. That's partly why we've seen oil prices move up. And prices at the pump are soaring, hitting $3.51 a gallon nationally Wednesday, a 7-year high. An invasion or sanctions that cut off supply could send prices even higher. President Joe Biden has acknowledged the consequences.
I will not pretend this will be painless.
RSM estimates if crude oil prices rise north of $110 a barrel, year-over-year inflation in the U.S. could top 10%, which would be the highest since 1981. And energy prices are a huge factor in this red-hot inflation hitting your budget.
How does this really impact me? It's in the cost of everyday living. Basically, the things we don't think about, like heating our home, like turning on the television, turning on your computer.
Higher oil and natural gas prices could also mean higher costs for airfare and transportation. The crisis in Ukraine could also cause a sell-off in U.S. stocks as investors face the fear of an oil shock and higher inflation. It could also mean higher borrowing costs. Economists warn that if inflation spikes above 10%, the feds could come under pressure to get prices under control. For now, I'm Julia Hecht, UMTV.
Thank you, Julia. Back here in Coral Gables, it's that time of year again on campus. Student government campaigns are underway and there are 2 tickets running. Paul Duyon is running for AU4U president, Niles Nazim for vice president on that ticket, and Tatiana Alvarado for the treasurer. Some initiatives they are looking to bring to campus include digital cane cards, connecting students to local professional sports teams, and bringing social justice leaders to campus. And the other ticket refresh calls for a new era of transparency. The ticket pushes for mid-semester course evaluations, showcasing Black-owned businesses on market Wednesdays, adding cameras in campus parking garages, and more. Jamie Victoria is running for president, CHIKA NWOSU for vice president, and Sade Nicholas for treasurer. And February is Black History Month, and celebrations at the U are in full swing. Our UMTV reporter Annalise Iraola joins us in the studio with more.
Thanks, guys. I attended the opening ceremonies a couple of weeks ago, and I had the opportunity to speak with students who were excited to get together in person and support the cause.
Campus was filled with students all gathered to show out for Black History Month.
So today is our opening ceremony, so we start with our annual cookout. So come down here to get some drinks, cookies, pasta, pizza, and we're gonna turn up.
A large turnout of students came for the opening night. This year's theme, Keep the Fire Alive, was chosen to reignite the fire the Black community lit during the Black Lives Matter protests. This opening ceremony brought together students of all backgrounds for the same purpose, to bring awareness to the Black community on and off campus.
It's nice to have an in-person experience, especially after all this time being away for the pandemic and everything like that. So it's definitely nice to see everybody, having a good time so far.
Great company, Miami weather, good food, and music made this kickoff event a hit. UM students danced, ate, and celebrated being together in person again. The Black Awareness Month Committee has several other events planned throughout the month of February.
I just really like seeing all the beautiful Black and brown students that come out to celebrate, and also just seeing the non-Black and brown students coming out. You can see behind me, when we get together, it's just a good old time, people dancing, getting together, good vibes, networking, so I just love it.
For more information on how you can get involved for Black Awareness Month at UM, visit the Multicultural Student Affairs page on the university's website.
The next event in person is a Black Awareness Month Day of Service on Saturday. I'm Annalise Iraola for UMTV. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Annalise. And keeping in theme, after the opening ceremony, the Black Awareness Committee kept the fire burning with a pop-up culture giveaway later in the week. Reporter Kiera Wright attended the event.
In spirit of Black History Month, students gathered on Lakeside Patio last Tuesday for the Black Awareness Committee's Culture Pop-Up, a tabling event including Black History trivia, handcrafted scrunchies, refreshments, and giveaways of tasty treats and scented skincare oils and butters.
My name is Paul Dion, and I serve on the United Black Students Executive Board as the co-project coordinator. This culture pop-up, I see it as a way for Black students on campus to connect with one another and also learn about resources that are on this campus for them specifically. They're also getting a chance to meet with Black faculty, and just knowing that they're a support for us in administration just changes everything for us with our experience at the U.
My name is Jalen, and I'm a first year in School of Architecture. On campus, I don't see a lot of people that look like me, and so this is a chance for me to be able to see people that look like me, that can relate to my experiences.
Black students only make up between 8 to 11% of the campus's population.
As the 8%, we stay connected and we stay communicative and collaborative and making sure that we're here for each other.
Being able to come to events like this outside of class shows me that there are more of us out there.
We're not the only ones, and we're a network of students working together.
The BAM committee is still hosting various other Black awareness events throughout the rest of February, all of which you can learn more about on UM's Multicultural Student Affairs website. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Kiera Wright.
And just in time for Black History Month, one UM professor has published a book highlighting Black culture in the gaming world. LINDSAY Grace is not only a professor, he is a video game designer, artist, and author. Grace has won countless awards for his games and gives talks at industry events to inspire young creators while on campus. The professor teaches esports, spectatorship, and game design. Grace wrote 3 books, his newest called Black Game Studies. It includes games and stories from Black game creators who work in the industry.
I started making games when I was about 10 years old, and then I was often the only person doing it, the only brown person in the room when I was doing my presentations or showing my work, and it was really kind of comforting, and part of the reason I wanted to do the book was to help people understand that they're not alone, that there actually are more and more people of color developing games.
Grace is also the night chair for interactive media at the UM School of Communication.
And the events celebrating Black History Month stretch beyond the UM campus. UMTV reporter Bella Papaduke went to one festival on Miami Beach that marked the occasion with a delicious twist.
Miami native Diego Fernandez came to Loomis Park in Miami Beach on February 12th to check out the 5th annual Soul Vegan Food Festival that is part of numerous events to mark Black History Month.
Well, it's actually nice scenery, the music's good, there's a lot of variety here, and it just seems a fun place.
Diego was one of more than 3,000 people who came out and tried the various African and Caribbean cuisines, celebrating Black excellence in the vegan food industry. The goal of the fest is to expose people to ethnic dishes that are not traditionally vegan and expand to healthier food options. The festival has been organized by the Hungry Black Man and the City of Miami Beach since 2018.
There is truly something for everyone at this vegan festival. Whether you want a vegan burger or something sweeter, you'll find it here.
The booths featured African and Caribbean cuisines from 14 different vendors. And many vendors have been returning for multiple years, like Mirwa Wassel, an employee at the Awash Ethiopian restaurant.
We love it. It's great food, great people. We get to meet new people, introduce people to Ethiopian food. It's really good.
Festival goers also enjoyed a DJ and some giveaways. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Bella Papaduke.
Harvey, I've never really liked vegan food, but I feel like maybe I should give it another try.
You know, you can if you want. I'm going to avoid it. I only like my meat and potatoes.
Okay, well, up next on NewsVision, learn more about one new organization's pop-up here on campus. Stay with us.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah?
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Thank you for staying with us. A new construction project on campus is causing problems for students. Darryl Barnes has more on how this major project is making students' lives harder.
From Lakeside Village to the intramural fields, UM students have been forced to take a lot of detours over the past few years. But just this week, they got one more. I'm talking about the construction behind me that stops them from being able to go from the music school to the freshman dorms. At the end of 2021, the University of Miami broke ground on the Night Recital Hall, a nearly 23,000 square foot performance space for the Frost School of Music. For months, this project's green gates left walking room around Lake Osceola, but this week, the construction sent students on a detour around the entire lake.
It's inconvenient because, especially if we're at Stanford and, we want to come this way to get coffee or something, we have to go all the way around.
Having to walk all the way to Stanford is already enough a hassle, and then having to make a whole detour, go all the way around this way, makes it 10 times worse.
But the university says the block path is just for students' safety as construction ramps up.
We want to make sure that everybody in the UM community is safe. So to take extra precautions, we did block that area off just to make sure that everyone will be okay.
The Night Recital Hall isn't set to open until next spring, but the university says it hopes that the facility and the outdoor viewing features it will have can bring the Coral Gables community together around art. University officials told me that they will open the path back up once all the welding is completed on site, but since that's going to be another couple of weeks, students still will in the meantime have to walk all the way around Lake Osceola in order to go from Stanford to Frost. But the university says they are hoping that this is just a short-term inconvenience for a long-term benefit for students. In front of Lake Osceola, I'm Daryl Barnes. Back to you guys in the studio.
Students of all ages came for the pirate-themed event. Clubs with less members rely on the fair each semester to generate interest between these two events. Students are able to find clubs that excite them and become more involved in on-campus activities.
It was amazing because so many organizations were saying we had like 0 members before this, and now we have like 300 people signed up on our Engage, which is crazy. And really at the end of the day, what organizations are about is like forming communities. And I think with something like the pandemic and even students having been virtual for so long, like community is something we're all kind of craving.
COSO holds additional events throughout the semester to promote leadership among undergraduates. Their next event is the Spring 2022 Leadership Library, where they will teach students to start and run their own school organizations.
Do you have any old clothes or clothes just laying in your room collecting dust? Well, you can trade in something old for something new right here on campus. That's right, with the university just a few weeks into the spring semester, student organizations are starting to pop up. One of them is UThrift, the University of Miami's free mobile thrift shop. Not only is UThrift a fun way to get involved on campus or to get some new clothes, it also serves a larger purpose.
UThrift is founded on both sustainability and increasing access to the UM and the surrounding community. We want to promote sustainability and awareness of fast fashion to try to keep as much as possible out of landfills. And at the same time, having something that is accessible on campus to all students where they can come and get things for free.
The organization is entirely donation-based, meaning to get an item, you have to give an item. They pop up every Wednesday right next to the Shalala Center and are open from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m.
Harvey, I was actually there and it was packed despite the serious rain on Tuesday.
Oh, well, that's some great news to hear. Glad that they're finding some success. Anyways, let's head over to our brand new weather reporter, Kate Stapleton.
All right, well, we are very lucky that tonight we are not going to have that much rain as we did last week. As you can see tonight, it is going to be in the mid-70s with some nice winds from the southeast cooling things off tonight. And as you can see on the radar here, there are some showers to the north of us, but they will be staying away for the most part. Nothing to hamper tonight's plans. And now, as we move into our wind forecast for the next few days, you can see that there are winds in the mid-10s down to the low 9s and down to 6 actually, but it is going to create a very nice breeze for us. So you might need a jacket tonight, but overall just enjoy some nice wind that'll cool you off during these hotter days. And now as we look at the futurecast, you can see up here there is a nice cold front moving in through Saturday, and it will pass us Sunday, weakening as it travels on. And after it leaves us, we will have a nice high pressure system moving towards us, bringing in some dry air. And now we look at our dew point cast. This is going to tell us that, you know, tonight and tomorrow will be a little humid. So if you need that extra hairspray, tonight and tomorrow are the nights to do it. And as we move through the week, you can see when that cold front comes through, our dew point does lower as well. So it will be a little bit drier then. Still too humid for me because I'm from Texas, but definitely not as bad. And now looking on to tonight, we have the temperature in the low 70s, some calm winds. Again, a little breezy. You might want to bring that jean jacket out tonight. And as we look into tomorrow, it is going to be nice and sunny, back into the 80s, which is going to give us a great tomorrow day. And into the end of our 7-day forecast, you can see that we are in the 80s. And we are going to be nice and sunny. There could be some showers on Sunday to look after with that cold front. And then from there, we are going to see that there is some temperatures back in the 80s. So again, a lot of nice weather to look forward to next week. And now we're going to throw it over to sports.
Thank you, Kate. I'm sports anchor Blake Atwell. When we come back, the latest on men's basketball, and UNTV sports reporter Emberk Isles will be live at the Watsco Center with an update from the women's basketball game. Don't go anywhere. NewsVision will be right back.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah?
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome to sports. I'm Blake Atwell. Miami basketball is in full swing, and oh boy, do we have some Canes over here. Heading into their road trip matchup with Louisville last night, the Canes had won 2 games in a row. So, how did UM fare against the Cardinals? Well, the Canes had outscored Louisville by 10 in the first half. And then, moving on to the second half, Isaiah Wong's 4-point play here, going to give Miami a 64-54 advantage, but Louisville not going anywhere just yet. The Cardinals would go on a 7-0 run to put the pressure back on Miami, and then later on, it will be Cameron McGusty who makes the big play for the Canes down the stretch, scorching this jumper. Miami would win 70-63. The Canes improved to 19-7 and play Virginia up next. Now from the hardwood to the baseball diamond, Canes baseball is right around the corner. Spring baseball festivities began last weekend with the annual UM alumni game. Over 60 former Hurricanes took the field at Mark Light to play against this year's team. Many major and minor leaguers played on the alumni team, but they were no match for the 2022 Hurricanes. The young Canes scored 9 runs in the game's first 4 innings en route to a 13-0 victory. Miami opens the regular season Friday night against Towson. First pitch is set for 7 p.m. at Mark Light Field. Now, while Canes baseball is just starting its season, another UM team is looking to end its season on a high note. Miami women's basketball has a record of 14-10, and the Canes are hosting Pittsburgh right now at the Watsco Center. UNTV reporter Emberk Isles is live outside Watsco with an update on the Lady Canes. Emberk, what can you tell us?
Blake, we are live outside the Watsco Center here where the Lady Canes are taking on the Pittsburgh Panthers. Miami coming into the game in a 3-way tie for 7th place in the ACC, but they have been playing well recently, coming off of 2 double-digit wins versus UVA and Florida State. Miami also, before tonight's game, courtesy of Category 5, gave out these WNBA-inspired sweatshirts. Really nice gesture by Category 5 to try to get more fans out to the game. But as we go into the third quarter of play, Miami is up by double digits, 40-27. Looking good for the Lady Canes. Their last home game will be on February 27th against Clemson before the ACC tournament. But that's all the time we have. Live outside the Watsco Center, I'm Emberk Isles for UMTV.
Thanks, Emberk. 15,000 runners have come to downtown Miami to participate in the 20th Miami Marathon. I met with one mom from Long Island, New York, who traveled all the way down to South Florida to compete in the marathon. And she stepped on the course for a cause that is very near to her heart.
We are Team Jacob! The mighty Team Jacob! The mighty Team Jacob! Let's go, Jacob!
Confident. Funny. Smart. These are the words Rachel Hersko uses to describe her son, Jacob. Jacob spends his time like most 6th graders.
Going to school with all of his friends, doing everything that all 11-year-old boys do. He's part of the basketball team, he plays football, he plays baseball. So with everything, he's still just a regular 11-year-old boy.
By everything, Rachel means necrotizing enterocolitis, a disease that causes the death of tissue in the intestine. Jacob was diagnosed with the disease when he was only 1 week old, but thanks to the health organization Chi Lifeline, Jacob is able to live a relatively normal life. The organization started in 1987 and assist families with children battling deadly diseases. They help Jacob get the care he needs, and even send teams to the Miami Marathon to raise money. This is what brings Jacob and his mom to Miami.
I felt that by joining Team Lifeline, this was my way of being able to give back.
And give back she has. Over the span of 3 Miami marathons, Rachel has raised over $200,000 for Team Lifeline.
I'm very grateful for my mom. The way I see my mom is like I can't even do that. Like she raised like $20,000 or something like that.
And her motivation is simple.
Jacob. And if not for Jacob, then kids like Jacob. I want to be able to just give them a glimpse of something that he's had.
Now, Rachel isn't the only Jacob supporter here at the Miami Marathon. A few of his classmates and even one of his grade school teachers came down to Miami to support Jacob. And they did not just come to support Jacob. They crossed the finish line with him.
To finish the finish line with Jacob just felt so amazing that like finally we finished our goal.
Team Jacob completed the Miami Half Marathon, 13.1 miles. Jacob spent most of the day riding alongside his friends in a stroller, but ran the last mile himself.
To see that, it just makes me want to do it again. Here I thought maybe it might be my last, but I don't think I can give up. I think we have to do it again next year.
Now, Jacob is a kid that has some big aspirations in life. He talks about wanting to become a professional baseball player when he's older. And with his spirit, his mom would not be surprised to see him accomplish just that. That's all we have for sports today. Blake Atwell, UMTV.
Thanks, Blake. Well, Valentine's Day was on Monday, but as the season of love comes and goes, learn what one organization on campus is doing to show love to the person you know best. We will explain when NewsVision continues. Don't go away.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call.
We celebrated Valentine's Day at the beginning of the week, and when you think of Valentine's Day, you probably think of relationships and romance. But one organization on campus made the holiday all about loving yourself. On Monday, UM's counseling outreach peer education organization called COPE held its 9th annual event called Love Your Body Day. Students came to the Foot Green to get free candy, read motivational messages, and they even had a mirror where they could write something they love about themselves.
So, we know that sometimes Valentine's Day can be a tough day for people. Sometimes there's people feeling lonely or like I don't have a person to celebrate with, and we want to remind everyone that like you are enough.
Here, I'll have her take it on my phone.
If you did not get to celebrate Love Your Body Day, don't worry. COPE also has virtual counseling sessions every Wednesday for students who want to focus on their mental health and have a support system on campus. For more information, you can visit COPE_UMiami on Instagram. Well, I really need to have a love myself day.
You know what? I agree, and so that's why I'm going to go home and run myself a really warm bath. A bubble bath.
Sounds nice. I don't have a bath, so.
That is all for us tonight. Thank you for joining us.
We'll be back next week with another edition of NewsVision. Until then, have a great night.